It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Fins and the Raiders coming up next.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And for all the collegiate success he had, highest passer efficiency rating by a mile, he's a guy who's had his share of detractors at the professional level, but I do like his poise, I do like his moxie, and I love his accuracy.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Play action, now it's Tua. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Tua. Finding Gaskin underneath. And some room to work. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big play there on the catch and run.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On the handoff, it's Gaskin. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
You got it. You got it. 6-yard line.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. 2nd and 5 now. Tua. Incomplete. And boys, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Max Crosby coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. The kick by Sanders is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. On 2nd and 7, Carr. Complete to Jones.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Quickly a slant to Renfro. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
The way this game is going, the way that they possess the ball on the other side of the field, you go 3 and out here, you might not see the ball again until the 2nd quarter.
Two first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with the football here, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Another try after the first down sack. Carr, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now Carr. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Christian Wilkins able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. Operating from the gun. Carr. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. And this one a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out, and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like
and a really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. To a hit, and the ball is out. And the Raiders have recovered. second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. And Waller taking it in over the middle. A gain of 6 there on first.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Throwing again on second down. Carr. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Jacobs powering his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Well, we have seen the stiff arm get a bit of renaissance here in recent seasons, and that was pure strength there as he forced his way into the end zone.
And when you think of guys who use the stiff arm so effectively, I go back to guys like Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, some recent guys like Marshawn Lynch. Let's go to the Wayback Machine. Bronco Nagurski, he dealt out a wicked stiff arm.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. A play fake for Gaskin. Now Tua hit, and the ball is out. And the Raiders pick it up. And fantastic field possession has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've got to be saying, boy, thanks for this field position.
Yeah, remember the last drive in which they scored a touchdown. That one also began in excellent field position, so let's see if they can capitalize a second time.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Darren Waller. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Waddle will return this from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Raiders called on a nickel set here for 3rd down. This is Gaskin on the carry. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders. And it's fielded at the 34. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. To throw, it's Carr. And this will be caught by Edwards. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st down, Carr. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Back deep for Miami, Jalen Waddle. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 5. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. Here's Gaskin. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Miami. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. With the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Johnson now returning. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense ready to go here to start the 3rd quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there for the Raiders.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Bryan Edwards. And that'll make it 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He'll swing this one out to Richard. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
A 57-yard attempt.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So just 3 points there, but that important in the grand scheme of things as it's now a 3-score lead.
And to now, the other guys haven't shown that they can do anything offensively, so just take the points, keep adding that cushion, and let your defense win you the football game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Dolphins take over first and 10.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll run now with Gaskin. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Tua. His throw incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Tua sets up to pass it. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Shotgun now for Carr. And his throw here is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time, and it's 3rd down. To throw his Carr. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense back out on the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Another run with Gaskin. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
And that was a good run, and it should get the attention of the defense, but it can't just dwell on it. They've been playing so well this entire game. Maybe they just look at it and say, okay, congratulations, you got one on us, and just not let it turn into more.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 3. First down, Miami.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at their 48-yard line.
2nd and 8 coming up. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Looking to pass. Tua. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. That's Crosby. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Miami. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And they'll get him down here at the 23.
When teams have a tough time running the ball, as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Here's 2nd and 9. Counter play with Jacobs, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Miami set to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Tua on 4th down. And this would complete to Will Fuller. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Raiders' 48-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From just shy of midfield, Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Tua. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. So give him the yardage on the completion and also tack on 15 more.
If you give that hand up there, you've got to let go immediately or just not close the hand at all. He didn't, gave it a tug, and that was easy for the officials to see.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Tua to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 9-yard line.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Tua going to throw. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Dolphins are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On first down, Jacobs. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Carr to throw. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team. So this one, a victory for the Raiders.